The following is a special presentation of Tony Kurre Radio. A show that looks good, feels good, and sounds good. This is When in Rome with Stuart Rome.
It's another week of great rock and roll, little hybrid show. It's actually won awards. We're doing stuff that no one else is doing. That is, we're doing a show that's a killer rock show, but it's also about the Woodhouse Day Spa, which is one of the finest clients anyone can have on their radio station. And then we're playing music in there as well. And I can only imagine what he's going to be playing this week because he is down in New Orleans. And just as we speak, little Francis. Is it Francis or Francine? Francine?
Francine.
Francine. Didn't ZZ Top have a song called Francine?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they did. Tell me where you're at and what in the hell's going on.
Well, I'm down here in New Orleans in Lakeview, and I sent you that video of the little, I'm doing a little storm chasing down here, and it was good. It was wasn't terrible. A lot of wind, a lot of streets flooded. Some people's houses got flooded, but fortunately, ours water stopped when it got to the steps, and the whole side yard's all messed up because the water came in from the side street. So it's a lot of cleanup, but not really any real damage. So that was good.
So where again? Paint the picture for me. Where are you in close proximity to like Bourbon Street in New Orleans? That part.
So we're kind of in we're closer to the Lake Pontchartrain.
Okay.
So, New Orleans so small. I can get to Bourbon Street in 10 minutes.
Yeah. From
my house. So it's pretty compact, but we're not so much center of the city, but we're a little bit center north, closer to the lake. It's called Lakeview, and the Katrina, this whole area was just wiped out.
Yeah.
So we're not looking forward to that again, and it didn't happen, so that's good.
So paint this for me, because again, I've been in New Orleans a million times. And I think a lot of people have, and I want to pull up videos and try to see some live thing. But I'm expecting the streets of New Orleans to be up to my kneecaps in water. But that is not the case, correct? Right now, and how often does that happen? In other words, how often do you guys have to deal with this? This was a Category 2, and I know it wasn't one of the worst ones, but I know that any water down there is not good water.
Yeah, so it was, when I went out to the street to video that, the water was to my knees.
Yeah,
but that was in the street, and then of course the houses are, built up a little bit higher. So as it gets toward the house, it has a hard time getting in, and it was, it just depends on the year. We might go 5 years without anything, and then we might have a year with 2 hurricanes. So it's highly unpredictable, and it only really takes one, even if it's a slow year. Hurricane.
That's
but,
all in all, yeah.
We pretty much have the plan down, and fortunately, the levees were rebuilt after Katrina. They put these big looking things in all the little inlets that come in from Lake Pontchartrain to not allow the water to come in,
Yeah.
And those have held up well. So that's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Our Corps of Army engineers did a good job that time. They had that thing rock and rolling. Well, my thoughts and prayers go out to you, because I can remember I lived in Westchester, Ohio, and this is certainly nothing even close to what you're going through. But we had this thing called a sub pump, and it would pump the water out of the basement. And people don't understand what that is. We'd have well water that would come in, and it would go into this little well. It was like a well thing, and the sub pump would go off when it filled up. It was like a toilet or something, So when the electricity went off and our electricity went out, that well would fill up and it wouldn't be able to pump the water out. And so our basement would flood. And then of course, water would come in through our window wells on either side. And it was like, and it would happen. Anytime we got, now this is when, now go back with me. This is when like 1 or 2 inches of rain was a shitload of rain. Now it's like, 1 and 2 inches of rain can be a Saturday afternoon. Now it's like, we're talking like feet. I saw some of the numbers down there, like 7 and 9 inches of water. That would be a ball buster for most of us. Now it seems like it's almost part of every storm, isn't it?
Yeah. I think we had, I guess at our location in Lakeview, I think we had 6 in just over an hour.
That's insane.
At one point. in 1 hour, So that's why the water, the water builds up and it got to knee height in the street is because this just pumps can't handle that much water. But they do, it does drain quickly once the rain stops. So it went down fairly quickly after everything was over.
Well, the Woodhouse Day Spa is on dry ground, thank goodness. You're right up there in the summit. You're sitting up mighty on the hill. There is no floodplain up there, man. And you are knee-deep in just wonderful customers coming in and getting massages and all kinds of therapy. And we're talking pedicures, manicures, and whole 9 yards. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com, Birmingham.woodhousespas.com. I will tell you right now that the 1972 album Rio Grande Mud had a song called Francine. That is spelled Francene. It was the first single ever from ZZ Top. Yeah, it was the B side. The B side was Francine in Spanish. That may be something worth to go listen to. Back in 1972, it was recorded in Ardent Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. And it was on a label called London, which I am not familiar with at all. And Kenny Cordray, Billy Gibbons, Steve Perrin, of course, and Billy Ham was the producer. I'll tell you what I'll do, since we got your songs and we're going to get the first one, and I know what it's all going to be about. But if it's okay with you, I'd like to play Francine at the end of this. Is that okay?
Of course.
All right,
absolutely.
Good. All right, well, give me your first song. Let's talk about some shop. What you got?
Well, of course, we're going to start with this one. This is Scorpions, Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Rock You Like a Hurricane. I had a feeling that you'd be going this route. And yeah, it's been pretty laid low, although when they looked at some of the hurricanes, just like since 2019, we've had just a lot land between, say, Texas and through the Panhandle. And of course, we haven't had any major jobbers, but any hurricane's not a good hurricane down there. So it's great to have you on. So how long does it typically, I know you've been at your mom's, you've been at your sister's, helping them clean up and stuff. Typically, when something like this goes, a couple of weeks in, you get everything cleared out and then you deal with insurance companies and things back to normal, I guess?
Yeah, fortunately, we won't have to deal with the insurance company, but
amen.
A lot of people did get, like the restaurant down the block from us got some water in there, so I was helping him out. He may have to deal with some insurance issues, which is always a pain in the ass.
No doubt.
But it's pretty back to normal, except in the southern parishes, south of New Orleans, like Terrebonne Parish, they're really low lying, and it takes them much longer to get back. Some of them probably don't have power yet, I'm sure, but at least in the city, we're pretty much back to normal at this point.
Yeah, that's assuming you can get insurance right down there, ain't it? Now it's now the point where they don't.
It's not cheap. It's almost like shit. I'll get it because it's so expensive. It's ridiculous.
Can you give me an idea, without being too personal, what like insurance costs down there? Like if you're, say, a little closer to what's it running?
I'm in the city, and I'm levy protected and everything else, and just homeowners is about $14,000 a year. Jeez. And that's not flood. Flood's separate. Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
And plus, and it's a mandatory 2% hurricane deductible. So say you have $100,000 worth of damage. Well, 2% of, you have to pay the first 2%. Some people have 6%, but 2 is mandatory. So there's a big deductible there. And then of course flood separate, and you have another deductible for flood, and it's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it seems like it's not getting any better, and I don't see it in our lifetime where it's going to get to the point where we can reverse our course here. But we'll see. Well, our thoughts and prayers go with everyone down there, and I know it's just a pain in the ass to have to deal with that stuff. We got some rock and roll though, and we got some good stuff going on. The Woodhouse Day Spa. We were doing our show yesterday, the starting lineup, which you've been a part of several times. We're going to have you back as soon as you get back in town. And we were talking. We always have a good laugh because you're fun to have on the show. And I was talking to Monty Ballard, who was our agency with the Style Advertising, and he's like, "Hey, you going to talk to Stuart anytime soon?" I said, "As a matter of fact, I got a show with him today. This was yesterday." And I said, "I got a show with today." He goes, "Well, you tell him I'm going to stop on by and get me one of those 6 for $5 deals." And I said, "Sure." And he goes, "Tell me again how they work." And he said, "Do I have to buy all 5 at the same time?" And I said, "Monty, you got more money than God. I said, you could buy 12 or 13 of those if you wanted." But I told him, I said, rather than he was going to get like a $300 gift card. And I said, rather than get a $300 gift card, why don't you buy 5 packages of something and then you get the 6th one for free? And he goes, "Well, hell, I don't even know if I know enough people. I said, well, I'll take one of them off your hands for the holidays, brother. I said, use them on yourself, man. I said, and he goes, that's not a bad idea, but tell people about that whole deal because it's killer. I said, you can save $200-300.
Yeah. So, well, Bonnie stopped by today.
Oh, good.
And because Holly sent me a text saying, oh, there's a guy named Bonnie here that he wants to tell you hello and blah, blah, blah. And so we took care of him. I think he got a gift card. We gave him nice discount.
Awesome. Thank you. He's a good guy, man. Thank you.
So yeah, he came in, but yeah, the 6 for $5 is great because you basically get the service for free. You can pay for $5. Say you want get a deep tissue massage, you're gonna pay for $5. We're gonna put 6 of those on your account, and they never expire. You can share them with friends. You can gift a couple of them to family, whatever. You can bring 5 friends on the same day and use 6, including yourself. So it's a great deal. I think it's probably our best special, and it's year round. It's not seasonal, and it applies to basically every service on the menu. So it's really
it's a fantastic deal, man. And I know it's depending on what your financial situation, it's a little expensive to be laying out 5 of those. But man, to have that one in your back pocket and know you can use it whenever you want it. That's the great thing about gift cards, particularly. Man, it's one thing to have like $15 at Red Robin. But when you've got a massage sitting in your back pocket to know you can use that damn thing whenever you want, that's a pretty nice idea to have. It's seriously, it's nice to have that leverage in your back pocket, your wallet. So it's great stuff. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. You ready for some emails?
Yes, sir.
Tilly in New Orleans wants to know, what does Stuart think about hyperbaric chambers? We've talked briefly on the show about different things that you see and different things that you invite and different things that you thought, maybe this is this a phase? Is this something good? What exactly is a hyperbaric chamber? All I can think about is Michael Jackson sitting down in his hyperbaric chamber with Bubbles, the monkey, but I don't think that's what we're talking about. Yeah. What exactly is that? Is that something you'd ever get involved in? Do they work? What is that?
I've never heard of one in a spa.
Okay.
And I thought they were just used. If somebody has to go in there, if say they get the bends or they go too deep, like a diver, I think they have to go in that chamber to decompress. But I'm not sure what else it would be used for as like health purposes. But like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. It
obviously has to do with oxygen and air. What is it? It floods your body. Is it almost like cryotherapy a little bit? Is it kind of? I don't
think it's like that at all. Cryotherapy is freezing cold, 200, minus 200. I don't know what it is, but this is, and I'm guessing, but I think like if you're a scuba diver and you get the bends, I think your blood fills up with, I guess it's some kind of CO2, some kind of something, that shouldn't be there. And I think the hyperbaric chamber kind of slowly brings it all back to normal. That's what I thought it was used for, but there could be, I'm sure there's probably other uses for it.
All right. So, hyperbaric chamber, pressurized chamber that delivers pure oxygen to the body to treat a variety of conditions. It involves breathing pure oxygen in a chamber where the air pressure is 1.5 to 3 times higher than normal air pressure. It helps the lungs collect more oxygen, which is then carried to the body's tissues and organs. It can help in wounds, including infected wounds, carbon monoxide poisoning, decompression sickness, which you mentioned, the bends, burns, bone infections, frostbite, gas, gangrene, and more. And you can actually, buy hyperbaric chambers. It'll set you back about 30 or 40 grand, but you can get one that can, if you want to, but I guess, I was taking a whiz in Tuscaloosa several weeks ago for a football game, and they have these oxygen bars now in T-Town. Yeah. I don't know if they're not really bars, but they're and they go after drunks. They're like, if you've had way too much to drink tonight and you get an early test tomorrow, stop by and see us on your way into school, and we'll go ahead and infiltrate your body with fresh fluids and oxygen, and I guess it makes you feel better. So that's not really a hyperbaric chamber, but it works kind of the same way.
Yeah, and I think most of those places, they also incorporate IV drips,
yes.
Hangovers with all kind of vitamins in the drip. I think that's probably more effective than the actual oxygen. It probably helps put both at the same time, but I think the drips are more effective than just breathing the oxygen.
It probably does. All right, your second song, and I'm not a big REO guy. I do play several of their songs, though. But you've got one coming up here next as we look through that hurricane, and we're trying to get through this show, man, so we stay dry. What do you got?
Yeah, there's of course riding the storm. I'm sorry, riding the storm out.
Riding, yeah. Ride the storm out, REO Speedwagon. We play. What do we play? Back in the Road Again here. Don't Let Him Go. I think we play into the song REO Speedwagon.
Yeah.
They can get after it. They could rock and roll a little bit there. Ride the storm. That's a great song. The live version of that song is fantastic.
Yep.
Really,
I think that's the one I like.
Yeah.
I don't like many of those songs either, but that's one of them I like.
No doubt. Invoice. Inbox. Check us out the inbox, TonyCurryRadio.net. RadioNet. Check us out, TonyCurryRadio.net. Birmingham.woodhousespas.com for all your information. Of course, go to the website and check it out. They do fantastic work. We got more music coming up on the way. And you always like to throw in a zinger, which you did at the end of this set. And I'm not sure who this is, so I'm really looking forward to your fifth song. And then we'll play some ZZ Top and Francine. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net.
Well, while we're on this deal, you just Google them, and then you'll see who they are, and you're going to really enjoy it.
All right. Should I tell them to Google it now, or should I do it? Should I do it when we play it?
No, you can Google it.
Okay.
Now,
right.
and then you can mention who it is. Well, we'll mention when the time comes.
You got it. All right.
You'll get an idea who they are when you see them.
Gotcha. All right. Tommy in Huntsville wants to know, what kind of issues can you tell by someone's cuticles? I have heard that if your cuticles go way up, like you don't drink enough milk, or if your fingernails are too shabby, perhaps you got something wrong with your bones. Can you tell about someone's health by looking at their cuticles?
You probably can, but I'm not familiar with that. I'd have to ask my nail techs. I mean, I knew that, sometimes they grow longer and you have to push them up, but I don't know. I don't know if that's an indication of anything, but I'm glad he asked that question, so now I can look it up.
Yeah, you can actually look up cuticles, what it is, care removal, signs of infection, more. And I do believe it has something to do with, I know someone can tell because if your cuticles way up your fingers, I think it means you have like really strong vitamin D in your body, and that means your bones are stronger. And I do know that on my left hand, there's one nail, it's in my middle finger, that you get that unprotective, you get that nail underneath, the one that you cut too short, hurts like hell, for like 3 or 4 days, it hurts like hell. I've got that on just one finger, and the rest of my fingers are fine. So I don't know what that means.
Huh.
I don't know what that is.
Well, I'm looking at mine. I can't see them, my cuticles, so they must be way up. So it must be healthy.
You must be. You need to drink more White Russians is what you need to do.
Right.
Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. We're doing some hurricane music here as we say, see you later there, Francine. And we'll play some ZZ Top at the end of the show. We got some emails, info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Let's talk about your website a little bit. A lot of people like to go on the website, and we mentioned the fact that our good friend Monty Bauer, he actually came into your store yesterday to go ahead and get a gift card. You don't have to come in the store. We'd love to see you, but you don't have to. You can go through the website and do it. But I just love it because I'm a guy and I don't like pop-ups and I don't like things that are flying. I had to do a little shopping earlier today, and I'd rather drive 20 miles and go to the store, be able to put the stuff on and know when I'm walking the door, it's good, as opposed to waiting for the box to come, then I have to return stuff. But on your website, you ain't have to worry about that stuff. Talk about it a little bit because it's fantastic. It's always updated too.
Yeah, it's always up to date with our, specials. We'll be posting some pretty soon. I think some new stuff, some seasonal stuff. The fall is coming up, and like you said, we do love to see the guests come into the spa because we like to see them. We like to give them spa tours, and we're able to put together a little bit nicer, gift boxing and those kind of things if you actually come to the store to get the gift card. But we know that's not possible, especially with people that live out of town and want to, give a gift to somebody that's in, say, Birmingham. You can go on the website and you can buy a gift card. You can customize it. It'll be, full color if you want to print it out. And it'll have all the information from to. You can even put a message on there. So it's not just a piece of paper, that prints out like an email confirmation. It's an actual gift card. And you can print that out. You can email it to the recipient. A lot of people will print them out and put them in a nice other card, greeting card kind of thing. So there's all kind of different ways you deal with it if you can't get to the spa. And it's a real quick process. You can either choose an amount, you can choose a service, however you want to do it. And it should take you, 5 minutes at the most to go through the whole process. So yeah, it's a great option for those that can't get to the spa. and we accept them. We accept them just like we accept the physical.
There you go. So, absolutely,
yeah.
That's good.
And of course they're transferable. So if you're say in Atlanta and you see the Woodhouse over in Atlanta, you can always go in there and say, I've got a gift card in Birmingham, and they'll look it up for you.
How many locations are there of the Woodhouse Day Spa around the country?
There's close to 90 now.
Is there really?
Yep.
Wow.
And that's spread out all over the place. Texas is pretty heavily concentrated because that's where it started. But there's a couple in California. There's up in Minnesota. There's Buffalo, New York. So they're kind of spread out all over the country.
Well, I didn't realize there were that many locations. I was thinking it's more like 20 or 30. That's fantastic. And of course,
I think I was 15. I think I was number 15 in New Orleans, and I'm thinking Birmingham was probably 60-ish, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, something like that. 65.
It's blown up, and that's been what, 4 years?
Yeah, five for Birmingham. Yeah.
5 for Birmingham. That's crazy. It was like yesterday when we were there for your grand opening. It's insane. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I have a 12-year-old daughter, and I get her every other week. It's a 7-on-7 off thing. And so she always leaves me notes in the house. She'll leave me like 3 or 4 notes around the house. And then during the week, it seems like at the most inopportune or opportune times, I will find one of these notes and it brings a smile to my face. So what's today? Friday. So I guess it was Tuesday or whatever. I was up in my bathroom. I opened my bathroom drawer and there's a note with a heart on it. And it says, "Dear Dad, are you going to talk to Mr. Rome anytime soon? Christmas is within Christmas is within 100 days. Just saying, I love you." And I'm sitting here looking at the note right now. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So just be careful who you introduce.
I forgot to tell you, but I do shoot her emails every so often and say, "Hey, you better talk to your dad," because
that's the thing is these damn kids got emails now because they have to have emails at school. You probably are shooting her emails.
She probably gets the marketing emails.
So Oak Mountain Middle School. She's probably getting it. Yeah, they don't have any spam box at Oak Mountain Middle School. That's probably what kids. It's strange because she knows she's going to get taken care of. And of course, the last time we went, then she had to bring a friend because she's like, "Well, Dad, I love, getting, manicure with you, but it's not the same as me being with one of my friends." So I had to flip the bill for her friend who came along. So happy to do it. And she loves it. But she knows, see, here's the deal. Her mom takes her to one of these Asian places, it's in a strip mall. And it's like, $35 for 5 minutes. You go in there and they mess up your nails and you walk out. And then when she goes and gets her toes and her fingers done at the Woodhouse Day Spa, she gets the real deal. She gets pampered. So, Dad's going to take care of her. So she's always going to have that. She's always going to have that. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. We got some more email questions. Let's do another song here as we rip through hurricane season. We just had Francine come through New Orleans, and that's where Stuart Rome is right now. Of course, he has the Birmingham store. It is fantastic right there in the Summit next to Saks Fifth Avenue. Give me your third song, brother. What you got?
Yeah, we're going to do a little CCR, or Who Will Stop the Rain.
Who Will Stop the Rain? They had several rain songs. You may hear another one from CCR right here on Woodhouse Day Spa's When in Rome with Stuart Rome. Make sure you put with Stuart Rome because there are several other When in Rome's. There's some crime show that I keep getting stumbled up on, and it does pretty well, but it doesn't do nearly as well as this one. This one's got rock and roll to it. We got some more songs coming up here, some AC/DC coming up in just a few minutes. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. We always pride ourselves, Stuart, on answering every single email, and we'll do that here. We got some politics here. Bonnie in T-Town. I guess you've heard recently that Taylor Swift has thrown her hat in for Kamala Harris. She asked the question, if Geddy Lee told Stuart which way to vote, would he go that way? Ha ha.
I would not. I would not, just like I'm not going to listen to Taylor Swift and what she has. I can make my own decisions.
Thank you very much. Very good. Yeah, I mean, like if you're riding the fence and you're going to flip a coin and you need your favorite singer to tell you which way to vote, well, you probably don't need to live here.
Yeah, I mean, I've never, you look in the newspaper, they always have these things that they endorse a candidate, or you look at a TV station, any of these places, they endorse certain candidates or organizations, but I don't think I've ever gone along with anybody just because they somebody endorsed them. I just, hopefully everybody can think for themselves and make their own decisions, right? And not have to lean on somebody that may have a different opinion from them, but they just don't know it. So they're just going to vote for whoever they like.
Amen, brother. Listen, if that's where we're going, where we can have someone like Taylor Swift sway our political endeavors, we got bigger issues. We got bigger problems. Right. Forget the Russians. They ain't our problem. We got Taylor Swift issues. Yeah, and I get it, and I'm sure that Kamala Harris appreciates it. But there's also people out there that ain't Swifties that may vote the other way, man.
I also don't really take recommendations on voting from billionaires either, because they're usually completely detached from what's really going on.
Yeah, she seems to be doing pretty well for herself. So maybe we'll go a different direction. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Tabitha in Birmingham, please ask Stuart Rome if he knows any of the benefits, or does he use apple vinegar? This is one of those things. A friend of mine who's Italian this morning we were talking about nails, and he rubs olive oil on his nails. He's kind of a weird dude. And I'm like, listen, if I get a hand lotion near my hands in the wintertime, that's a win for me. When my hands start getting really dry and crusty. But he uses some olive oil regimen every morning. But I have heard people say that like a tablespoon or a couple tablespoons of apple vinegar every day is really good for your body and good for your health. Have you heard anything like that?
Yeah, I have actually, and I don't particularly just drink it like that. I put it in the water, but what I do use it for is I make this great homemade barbecue sauce, and I use a lot of apple cider vinegar in that. It's great for that. It's great for, you can use it for like salad dressings. I like tangy dressings, and it really spices those things up. So yeah, I use apple cider vinegar a lot.
So what else is going in this barbecue sauce? Do tell.
Oh, dry mustard, a little bit of smoke, some Lee & Perrins, ketchup, mustard, basic seasonings like garlic and black pepper, which I really like to use. All kind of stuff. Onions, of course. You saute the onions, some garlic.
I'm going to do me some ribs tonight. You just talking about that, man. It sounds so stinking good. I'm usually more of a I'm not a white sauce guy, although I appreciate the white sauce stuff. But I go the red sauce, and I'm not a vinegar guy because I don't like it's kind of runny to me. But I'll find myself drinking it more than licking it off my fingers. But that's either way, it's good. I mean. Anytime you can eat.
I've got two slabs in my refrigerator I need to cook.
There you go.
You mentioned ribs.
You know what? I made a couple of slabs last week, and it was one of those situations where I wish I could remember what I did, because I usually put them on the grill at the end so I can burn the fat off. But I've been putting them in I haven't gotten my green egg out since I moved. It's just a bigger pain in the ass than it is just to not put them in the oven. But I have been oven based on my ribs, man. And I made some ribs last week now, and I'm not kidding you. I put them up against anybody's. It was amazing. My kids were like, dude, what did you do? And I'm like, I don't know if it was the cut of meat. It was baby backs, and I don't ever do the frozen stuff, so maybe that had something to do with it. But it was killer. So
that's awesome.
We need to do that. We need to grab some lunch. I'm hungry. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. We got two more songs. Give me another song, brother, and I can't wait to hear this last one.
Yeah, we go with AC/DC, Thunderstruck.
Thunderstruck, AC/DC, just wrapping up they said they wrapped up their tour, but I'm hearing that obviously they're going to be coming to the Western world and doing a North America part a little bit later on this year and early next year. So we'll have some tickets to be given away for that. And Thunderstruck is certainly one of the songs they're going to be playing. You're going to love the last song. I still have to Google the name of this band and find out what you're talking about. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. Info at TonyCurryRadio.net. We have a Toby in Birmingham wants to know, can someone with a pacemaker get a massage? We have talked about pacemakers and knee replacements and back things, and whether you're pregnant and what's the most important thing to do when you walk in the door if you've had some work done?
Yeah, so the pacemaker issue, we have talked about it before. Just like everything else, we want you to check with your doctor. Most of the time, it's fine. But if you have any kind of major surgery replacement, like a knee or hip or a pacemaker or some other device that you've got implanted, we definitely want you to just check with the doctor and make sure everything's okay. But we've certainly done services on people that have pacemakers without a problem. So. That's my advice is just to make sure, to be safe, to check with that doctor first.
Yeah, and I can't believe we're saying this because for my daughter's note, but we are about 100 days away from Christmas, aren't we? September, October, November. Yeah, we're about 100 days away. So it's and I couldn't believe I went to a Home Depot the other day, and they've already got these fright stores out. They're already getting into Halloween, dude, and we're still like 6 weeks out. I mean, I guess it's better. You know, everyone says time's flying so fast, and I think it's because we're looking further ahead in our calendar. And I think when we do that, we can't really enjoy the moment we're in now, and we're all constantly looking ahead. And I think when you look ahead like that, time goes a little quicker. So Christmas will be here soon. And there's all kinds of different ways to be checking out. Before we get into your last band, tell people how they can get in touch with you, man. And thank you so much for everything you do. And our thoughts and prayers go out with everyone down in New Orleans. Yeah,
thank you very much. It's, website's birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can give us a call at 205-905-7676. Or our favorite is for you to come down to business in person at Summit across from the Saxmouth Avenue. In that lower level, plenty of parking, to deal with the chaos up the hill, so to speak.
There you go.
And so anyone who, just come see us. We'd love to see you.
All right, give me your final song here as we're working our way through hurricane season. I thought maybe you'd throw some Buffett in there, but no Buffett this time.
No, I was going to do it, but this band, it's I guess they're considered country, but I think it's Three Sisters, and the name of the song is Hurricane, but it's specifically about a hurricane coming to New Orleans, so it's pretty cool, and it references a whole bunch like Bourbon Street, and like Pontchartrain, and all kind of thing. The name of the band is the Castellos, and it's Hurricane.
This has been a special presentation of Tony Curry Radio.